Coming up at 11, candidates for major political races in Letcher County had the opportunity to speak with members in their community at a candidate forum today.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 11.
Good evening, I'm Keaton Hall. While today was the coldest day yet in Eastern Kentucky this fall, it's not stopped election season from continuing to heat up. WYMT's Chandler Wilcox details how locals in Letcher County heard from candidates for political offices in a more personal setting.
It is the third year that Harry M. Cottle Memorial Library in Whitesburg has hosted a candidate forum. This year might be the biggest yet after the historic flooding hit just a few months ago.
It gave us an opportunity to really get an idea of how they feel they would be able to help the residents of Letcher County.
That opportunity is a chance to develop relationships between locals and candidates.
And it's an opportunity we get in a small town that larger cities just don't have.
5 candidates from those running for city offices to county offices came together not for a debate, but a conversation.
I like to keep it non-confrontational, just ask them how they feel about things, what they would do.
The cordial meeting was informative for attendees hoping to know who they want to vote for soon.
Most of the candidates spoke frankly about their ideas and their plans, and I liked what all of them had to say.
Overall, the night seemed to be a success regardless of which side each person was on.
We didn't have like as many candidates as I hoped, but 5 is a decent number.
Election Day is November 8th. In Whitesburg, Chandler Wilcox, WYMT Mountain News.
If you missed the candidate forum, you can go back on the Harry M. Cottle Library Facebook page and watch the recording.
Another very chilly night in progress throughout the region as we continue to see temperatures drop into the 30s. Western side of the area under a freeze warning tonight, along with our counties, our friends there in East Tennessee and in Southwest Virginia tonight, experiencing temperatures everybody really looks like will be down below freezing tonight, but the greatest certainty in our southern counties. Outside now, all clear, all quiet, upper 30s to near 40, winds out of the west-southwest, making it feel, excuse me, closer to freezing as you go toward Pikeville at this hour. Many of us already upper 30s, Williamsburg, Jonesville. It's 37 in Harlan and 34 in Wise. Feels like temperatures universally just about in the 30s, even in the 20s. There in Wise, feels like 27. We're trying to clear things out tonight, but a few more showers or flurries can't be ruled out in our northern communities. Most of us, though, stay dry and chilly. Lows right around 30 for tonight. Coming up, the latest on when we can see some warmer temperatures and the records we broke today. Coming up in just a few minutes. Keaton?
Thank you, Evan. The Housing Development Alliance helps to build homes for people in need of affordable housing. And now the organization is working to help those who have been impacted by July's historic flood. HDA began building the project's first home, in Perry County. Those with HDA say they plan to build 4 homes in Perry County, 4 in Knott and 4 in Breathitt. Although they do not have a set timeline on when the homes will be completed, they're working as fast as they can to get as many people housed as possible.
You know, we've got like 1,900 homes that have been destroyed or to the point to where they're uninhabitable. So to have them have the chance to walk into a new home after everything they've lost and say, you know, we've got an energy efficient, beautiful, warm house, and we'll have that for the rest of our lives if we want it.
Those with HDA say these homes will have 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms and plenty of yard space for folks to make many memories with their families. A disabled dog found in eastern Kentucky is looking for his forever home. A rescue from Massachusetts called Sweet Paws came to eastern Kentucky during the floods to help find displaced animals. They found baby Steven. He was dragging himself. They found he'd been shot by a BB gun, which paralyzed his back legs. The rescue got into contact with Walk-In Pets based in New Hampshire, who equipped baby Steven with a new wheelchair.
Once we got him set up in the perfect fit, he went hopping away. He took off in the yard here. So we were extremely happy to see that transformation in him. And You know, once these special needs animals find a device that helps them be mobile again, it also helps their chances of getting adopted.
Baby Stephen is currently with a foster family in Massachusetts. Sweet Paws is looking for a family who has time and experience with disabled pets. You can find out more information on how to adopt Baby Stephen at sweetpawsrescue.org. The New Hope Food Pantry in Hazard feeds between 100 to 200 people a week. The organization is a ministry through New Hope Church, and Pastor John Kidwell says they work with organizations and businesses such as God's Pantry, Feeding America, and Walmart that donate food used to pack the large boxes for local families each week.
There will be meat, there will be produce, there'll be canned goods, dry goods. It varies each time depending upon what we actually have available, but what we try to do is prepare a box basically for a family of 4.
The food is distributed each Tuesday of every week. You do have to be eligible and a client of the food pantry to receive a box. Students and faculty at the East Kentucky Advanced Manufacturing Institute were paid a visit today. U.S. Senator Rand Paul stopped by eCammy to tour the facility and speak to students and staff about how the institute is preparing the workforce of tomorrow. Senator Paul added that workforce participation is much too low in the state of Kentucky, while one eCammy student says the new generation of workers have lost much of their work ethic.
This is not a country where things are given to you. You work for it and you attain it through your sacrifice. And sadly, my generation, being Generation Z, we've lost touch of that.
Senator Paul cited that 38% of Kentuckians are able to work and choose not to work, and that eCammy could help with this alarming statistic. A federal appeals judge upheld the conviction of a former Southern Kentucky constable. Our news partner, the Herald Leader, reports in 2020, Michael Wally Wallace was found guilty of planting drug evidence on people to corruptly justify arrests and seizures on property. He was the constable in Pulaski County for more than 10 years. Wallace was sentenced to 12 years in prison for conspiracy against civil rights. After a sentence, he'll have to undergo 4 years of supervised release. It's just 3 weeks until Election Day, and the battle for control of Congress is intensifying. Natalie Brand reports from Washington.
We have to have rules and we have to have laws.
Republican incumbent Marco Rubio and Democratic Congresswoman Val Demings met on stage Tuesday in their first and only debate in Florida's Senate race.
She actually voted for the crazy people's budget, a socialist budget. She voted for it. It raised $9 trillion in taxes.
You've been in elected office in Florida for 24 years, and what we have been left with is skyrocketing property insurance.
Candidates sparred over the top issues on voters' minds, from inflation to abortion, gun control to border security. The debate comes as newly obtained police body cam video shows the arrests of several Floridians accused of voter fraud. One was Tony Patterson, a registered sex offender.
What is voter fraud? Voting when you're not supposed to.
He's one of 20 people accused of violating a 2018 state law allowing former felons to vote after completing their sentences, except for those convicted of murder or felony sex offenses. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, who is also running for re-election, established a controversial state police force to investigate voter fraud. From the patrol car, Patterson expressed confusion over the fact he was allowed to register to vote.
Why would y'all let me vote if I wasn't able to vote? I'm not sure, buddy. I don't know.
Nationwide, with Election Day now 3 weeks away, a new CBS News poll finds Democratic momentum stalling. President Biden tried to re-energize the base around the issue of abortion.
The court got Roe right nearly 50 years ago, and I believe Congress should codify Roe once and for all.
CBS polling shows the percentage of voters who say abortion is very important to them is slightly lower now compared to last month, and trails behind other issues such as the economy and inflation. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, Washington.
Biden promised if Democrats hold the House and gain the Senate, the first bill he'd send to Congress would make abortion rights legal across the country. But that would require a 60-seat majority in the Senate or changing filibuster rules. Coming up on Mountain News at 11, how the organization Military Missions is preparing for an upcoming care package program.
Plus, another frigid one expected as we head through tonight. Some milder weather's on the way, I promise. Those details next.
Are you tired of the same old cell phone? Want a new phone, but really don't want to pay the hundreds of dollars up front for it? Appalachian Wireless has a deal.